Hi guys, welcome back to another Friday Faves and Fails. We're going to be speedy this week because the kids are off school and you know what that means? No time. I also thought I would include two of Ella's favourites because she keeps telling me, like, I'll give her things to try, I'll give her things that I'm not using, and occasionally she'll tell me that she's used something, that she needs something new, or that she particularly disliked something, but it's rare that she will go out of her way to tell me something was really, really good. So I'm going to show you two things that Ella thought were particularly good. And she tries a lot of stuff. She tries a lot of the stuff that I try. But obviously she's got different kind of skin. She's 16, she's acne prone. She has the same thing I had in that you get like acne on your arms and things like that. And that's just not something that I'm struggling with right now, but it's something that I definitely appreciate. If you find a product that works, that actually makes a difference, that's something I want to share. I always tell her the story of when I was pregnant with her and my skin suddenly cleared up and it was absolutely fantastic. Not that I'm suggesting that as a solution, but my skin was always so rough, even when I didn't have acne anymore. It was just rough. And I remember laying in bed and I was probably 3-4 months pregnant and I put my hand on my arm and my skin was so soft I couldn't stop talking about it and nobody understood what I was, like, what the big deal was. It's like, your skin is soft, okay? No, my skin was so smooth and it just had no texture to it whatsoever. And only someone who has grown up with that kind of issue can really understand what I'm talking about, because it probably wasn't that smooth. It was just, I was so used to kind of like constant bumpiness or spots that it was such a massive, massive change. So she said that the Fenty Skin Buff Rider Exfoliating Body Scrub, which honestly I only used a couple of times before shaving my legs, and when she said she really liked it, I said, well, I'm not absolutely bowled over by it. There are other things that I can try, so she may as well use it up. And she said this really, really helps to smooth everything out. And she said of all of the scrubs that she's tried, it really makes a difference to the texture of her skin. I'm just going to quickly throw in a fail that kind of falls into this category, which is the Ameliorate Smoothing Body Exfoliant. There's one major issue about this, and it's you have to put it on dry skin. So it's supposed to have the same kind of acids in it that the regular Ameliorate stuff has got in. So I think this is like the LAH6 is their special complex unique to Ameliorate, and that's the thing that helps to smooth everything, which I like in their body products. But with this, I just don't think that it was doing anything more than any other body scrub. You have to use it before you get in the shower, otherwise you're just immediately washing off that ingredient. And it's messy, so you're either outside the shower waiting to go into the cubicle, or you're next to the bath waiting to go into the bath, and you're scrubbing yourself, and it's not the kind of scrub that all holds together. It's bits and they fall on the floor. So as soon as you've done this, you're going to have to clean the bathroom floor. I suppose you could do it in the shower before you turn it on, or the other side of the bath, but I'm not into that like cold water life. The second thing is it kind of has that like micro bead type scrub thing that I do usually like, but because it's so small and it's a body exfoliant, and because you're not getting that like lather of the water, you're doing it dry, I maybe got 2 uses out of this for my entire body. If you don't want to use this all over, then maybe it would be okay. But if you're looking for an all over body exfoliator, this is not it. It is a retexturizer. I would say all of the things that it claims to be, it is. It's just a bit of a pain to have to use, and it's not big enough for the cost. Moving on to the second product that Ella really liked, it's the Primark PS Futures Bright Jelly Cleanser. So they sent this to me and I was using it. I left it in the bathroom and told her she could use it. She used that up and then she purchased with her own money that I gave to her this. She bought it again. That's a big deal. A repurchase means something. You could buy anything, but she liked this. And I have to agree with her. It's a really, really nice, simple cleanser. It smells amazing. It smells like watermelon. If you remember Maybelline Water Shine, it is that exact synthetic watermelon scent. It says it has hyaluronic acid, watermelon and pineapple extracts and helps to brighten skin. I don't know about that, but if you are looking for something that's just kind of like a nice gel cleanser, maybe to use as your second cleanse or you cleanse in the morning, it's definitely a nice product. I'm currently still using the Fenty cleanser. I really like that. I have a second one, but that was sent to me. It wasn't a repurchase. And I'm going to continue to use that. I take off my makeup with it. I do my second cleanse. I'm really enjoying it. And I feel like you get a lot in that one tube. However, if I needed to go and get one, if I was somewhere and I desperately needed a cleanser, I would go and buy that one from Primark because it is really nice. Another fail, I got this from, I think I got it from Cherries. I ordered some stuff with them a couple of months ago, and some of the things were beauty things. And this seemed really interesting. It's a charcoal cleansing stick. And I mean, I should have known because I have had cleansing sticks before and they're a mess. This is what it looks like. You rub that on your face. So how is this clean? But beyond the application, it was just kind of dry and I didn't get much in the way of cleanser from it. It's like a soap stick. I've had other cleanser sticks and they're balmy. This feels like a solid soap. It's heavy. It's like heavy. It feels like a solid soap stick completely. If I put this on my hand now, I mean, you can maybe see it a little tiny bit, but it's not much softer than soap, and that's very much the feel when you rinse it off your face, which definitely you couldn't really, I don't even know how it would work, honestly. That felt almost completely dry when I wiped it off my hand then. But if you rinsed whatever was on your face off, it just makes you feel kind of dry and tight, which is not cute. I do have a face mask that I want to mention, and I only want to mention it because it smells so seasonally appropriate. I don't even think it does anything so wildly amazing that I'm like, you must go out and get this because look at my skin. That's not the situation at all. But if you are into pumpkin scented things at this time of year, and you can get your hands on this, because I got it from FabFitFun, and sometimes that's a bit funny in the UK. The brand is Purlisse. Purlisse? I'm sure I'm butchering that, but this is the brand. And it's the Pumpkin and Ginger Detoxifying Charcoal Mask. I picked this specifically because it was pumpkin, and it just smells like a pumpkin candle. It really, that's all it smells like. And it is supposed to be detoxifying. It's oily combination, normal and even sensitive skin, so for everyone. Gently detoxifies pores, clarifies, brightens, exfoliates and purifies. It hasn't given me any kind of adverse reactions. I don't feel extra sensitive or anything after using it. I can't tell you that there's any instant results, but it's fun to use in October. Something that I wrote off immediately, that I've spoken about a lot since, but I'm not sure it's made it back into a Friday Faves and Fails. And I'm annoyed because, you know, I'm wrong sometimes. It happens, but it's rare that I'm this wrong. And this is the Missguided Superfix Fixing Mist. If you have seen me speak about this since then, you will know I was wrong. I was wrong. Okay, I was wrong. I did a little mini review of this. Now, hardly anybody watched it, so you probably didn't even see it anyway. But basically, I was hoping that it was going to be like the Morphe Setting Mist and just kind of like a fine mist that made everything kind of melt together and look beautiful. It's not like that at all. It's a very aggressive mist. It's like, it's not like a nice aerosol. You have to do it quite far away from your face. And the absolute most important optimum piece of information here is you have to have powdered. If you do not powder, then it will just leave like a glossy layer on your face, which is not cute. So I use this over the top of just a foundation and concealer, maybe some cheap products, but all cream things, no powder. And it looked awful. I looked super shiny, just like I put a layer of lacquer on my skin. And I mean, it looked like that all day. It really did fix my face, but I hated that shine. And I just couldn't understand why people were enjoying it so much. Someone told me it's all about the powder. Since then, I've loose powdered. I mean, I do like basically a little bit of loose powder everywhere, but focusing in the middle, I blend it out a little bit. But while it is still powdery on my face, I'll spritz. I'm not going to do it again. That would be a mistake. But I'll spritz at arm's length. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just started raining and it's some crazy rain out there. And I've got about 10 minutes till I've got to leave the house. But I'll spritz, so let's pretend. And then like 5 minutes later, it's set completely. Everything looks really pretty. It doesn't look too powdery. It doesn't look too shiny or oily. And it stays like that all day long. It really helps eye makeup. It seems to even help like mascara not smudging. It helps lipstick. It's insane. And I can't not mention this to you because it seems to be a really fantastic product. Now, this is not the same thing as the Morphe. If you want super flattering, just like almost perfectly filtered skin, that is still the one for you. But if you have got a day where you need your makeup to last all day and you are maybe oily or someone that you find that your makeup breaks down quite quickly, I think this is something that you're going to want to have in your makeup bag, even if you only use it every now and then. It's just nice to have something that you know is going to work. It's the same thing that I used to feel about the Urban Decay All Nighter, although that didn't really help with kind of oil control and things. Whereas with this, because I've got that layer of powder underneath it, it seems to kind of help with that as well. And so I'm sorry, Missguided. I was wrong. This is actually fantastic. if used correctly. Lastly, I want to talk about Astral Original, which is the intensive moisturiser. I mentioned not so long ago, maybe last month, that I purchased this when I did a little supermarket haul. My friend Kaz messaged me and said, "Did you know Joanna Lumley swears by this?" And I said, I didn't know that, but I know I've tried this in the past. I could smell it through the picture that she sent to me. And it was kind of like a Nivea vibe. So I picked some up and I intended just to use it kind of like on my body, on my feet and stuff. And one day, because I was using my Skin and Me, which has got pretty high percentage active ingredients in it to try and get rid of some of my pigmentation. We're going to talk about Skin and Me, by the way. There's going to be like a quarterly update situation because we're going to need to update on that. But because it was making me kind of dry, I had lots of dryness around here. And then when I was putting on makeup, everything was terrible. It was a bit sore at night time. I didn't want to use just my normal moisturisers. I put on my Skin and Me one night and I thought, I need a really heavy moisturiser. I reached for this and thought, well, it might break me out. What's the worst that can happen? Literally, in the bed, smothered it all over my face like something from Mrs. Doubtfire. I was just covered in the stuff. And the next day, my skin was great. And ever since then, I've used this as my evening moisturiser. Really enjoying it. It's not clogging my pores. It's not making me like extra oily or anything. It's not breaking me out. I don't know what to tell you. I'm oily. This is what I'm used to. But I think because of the skincare I'm using right now, it's kind of changing the texture of my skin. And this is really nice. Maybe Joanna Lumley's onto something. I mean, she looks fantastic. So very possibly. I did just want to talk about, or recommend rather, very briefly before I go, a podcast that I've been listening to this past week. It's called A Beautiful Mess, not to be confused with A Pretty Mess, who we will talk about after all 4 reunions have aired. This podcast, and I actually found this when I was looking for Nora Ephron interior inspiration, and they've done several podcasts where they talk about movie houses and TV show houses and things like that, like places that they find inspiration or their favourite movie houses. And they have had a whole podcast talking about Nora Ephron interior and like the Nora Ephron effect. And so they're my kind of people. And I've never really thought to listen to an interiors podcast, but I like the two of them together. They seem to be my vibe. Do you know, as I'm talking, I'm realising I don't even follow them on Instagram. That's just crazy. I'm listening to interiors people. I've never even seen their houses, but I think they're my vibe. What a crazy world that's how I found these people. I'm so interested always, your kind of path, your journey to something, because it's always unexpected and it's never what it should be necessarily. Like often people will find me through the most convoluted ways. Lots of people over the years have found me through vlogs where we've gone to New York or Vegas. So many people found me through hair dye misadventures. And it's never what you think. It's never like a major, oh, this was a really popular video, you found me through that, or something that I talk about often. It's always something completely different. And so how random that I would find them on some article talking about Nora Ephron interiors, specifically to that podcast. And now I listen to them as often as they put out a podcast, but I've never thought to check them any other time. I think it's because I'm always driving. So I'm either driving or I'm walking. I'm not like sitting down and actively like, oh, actually now I'll Google this. I'm always like moving. But now, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to Google them. I'm going to Google them on Instagram. Thank you for joining me for another week of Friday Faves and Fails. We are super duper close to November now. If you don't know, I am not going to be doing the traditional Vlogmas this year. I've decided to bring back Vlogmas Eve, which is basically Vlogmas a month early. So it is the Eve month of Vlogmas. So I will be daily vlogging all throughout November. If you are into Christmas and you want a little bit of early festive cheer, come over to my vlog channel, follow me there, and I will be putting something out every single day. And that will also be the lead up to our New York holiday. All being well, you never know, fingers crossed, put it out into the universe, we will be there, which should be fun too. And then I'll be posting some travel content. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on Sunday with another one.